This is Jordan Grace, and you're listening to the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
BW, this is One Nation Radio. You better get it right. Rich Latta, James Boyd came to give them life. The Blackest Wrestling Podcast has come to kick all ass and drop it 6 feet if they kicking trash. Word, let me welcome y'all to something different. And if you dig it, man, you should let some friends listen. We be getting it in, that's on the regular, dude. Ravish and flow, but this shit rude. See, James don't rap, so I had to break it down. The whole network, man, we coming for the crown. Raps in the columns, I keep them both covered. Making the beats too, so the listeners can bump it. Hit us with the rating, yeah, I'm saying it's a 5. Before you hit it, talk, bob your head side to side. It's One Nation Radio, and this is the beginning. It's Rich, and I'm here with James. It's time to listen to One Nation.
We got to unleash the power of the pyramid.
This is Mike Sempervive from WrestlingObserver.com. Check me out on Wrestling Observer Live every day. And also check out your boys, Rich and James, on One Nation Radio.
This is Kenny Omega. We're listening to One Nation Radio. Check it out, guys. These guys know what's up. Big Kenny Omega fans, and that's all that counts to me. Goodbye and good night. Bang.
Hey, folks. Welcome to this week's edition of One Nation Radio. I'm James Boyd here. We have Rich Latta. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Just here ready to do another epic episode of One Nation Radio, and it's gonna be a good time. Got a lot of things to set straight. This AAA stuff, I feel like, is out of control. So we definitely gonna talk about that. We got what else we got on deck? We can talk about the J. Cole mixtape. Okay. What else? Arrival of Tommaso Ciampa, which I feel like we need to set in its proper perspective, the correct perspective. We'll do our early returns on Andrade, because I think he's picked up a little momentum of late, and we can look at Dynamite a little bit. I think the Royal Rumble is this week. I think
it is.
Yeah,
it's in Saudi Arabia. So
yeah,
that's why
idea.
It don't feel the same. It don't feel the same.
I heard they barely promoted it. It's a tough one.
I mean, it's not like they have a bad card, because they have AJ Styles and Gunther. They have the Cody and Fatu thing. They have Sami Zayn and McIntyre. And I like what they did in the build for the AJ and Gunther thing, and I also like what they did for McIntyre and Sammy, where Sammy just you talk about my kid, I just walk up on you and just slap fire at you like that. Sometimes it can be that simple. Like, you say the mean thing, or you just hit somebody, y'all just fight a bunch, and then y'all end up in the ring. Like, people have to make it into this. Has to be this, has to be the fucking Odyssey. It's like, nah, it ain't got to be all that. It don't have to be. It's great that Hangman Page has done what he's even able to accomplish on American television, but it ain't got to be that. It don't. Because when you try to be as good as Hangman Page, you end up like MJF if you a hack. So sometimes what's more? Restraint.
Man.
I'll check it out, because obviously it's Rumble, and then like stuff I mentioned, I actually care about these matches for some of the stuff. But yeah,
I keep seeing
online the buzz is absolutely not there, because I really feel like the people that will travel to this, that will get the people hyped about this are like, it's still it's Saudi Arabia.
And
it's a Saudi Arabia show. You know what that means. You know what that could be. It could be all ass.
I keep seeing the photos of this stadium that was built by slave labor, and I see how it's sitting up, and they've got the logo painted on the side. I'm like, that thing might collapse on itself if you walk on the wrong plank somewhere.
Something tells me that will not be a problem. Something tells me that if something gets built that fast, there will be consequences if there are any mishaps. So I don't think there will be any problems. Something.
Oh man. One other thing.
Hopefully I'm right. I don't want anything bad to happen.
Make sure you guys send in your super chats as well if you want to keep supporting the show. Run the numbers up. Make sure you hit the like button and all that, and leave all the comments you can. And let's try to get some more folks in. Share the link, whatever you can do. If you're here, you might as well. You got to do y'all part. So I guess, man, let's get it underway with J. Cole. J. Cole dropped a mixtape called, I believe, the Winter Blizzard.
Birthday Blizzard.
Okay. His birthday was, just recently, and He put 4 songs out and a bunch of Biggie and Locks beats, and I heard it and I was like, okay, yeah, this is my kind of rapping. This is just, jump on the mic, say something hard, talk about a bunch of people that you think can't mess with you, and nothing really groundbreaking or anything, but it's a mixtape at the end of the day. I thought it was it really is a data thing more than anything, because apparently how he released it was you go to the website falloff.com, pay that $1, and obviously the $1 it works. You got to put your information in to pay that $1. So he's doing a data collection essentially to see who's really where he's at, who's trying to engage with his product. So I don't begrudge him for that, but I went over to YouTube. You don't need my data, J. Cole. You don't need my $1. So leave it at for the hardcores. But I heard it, and I saw some people upset at him and really want him to I guess like answer more people. But Cole also did a couple funny things on there where he's seemingly taking shots at people and barking up imaginary trees. So.
He's sticking it. Off the start, when they start with the victory, like he's immediately, when I first heard him, I'm like, he's breaking his foot off in Academic's ass.
Yeah. It's
but to me, it's like, wow, we've gotten to the point now that like it's one thing where like it's LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith in the athlete confronts the personality over things that they did not like. It's one thing when it's that, right? And it's it's that. When it's this, is like who gives a fuck what Academics thinks? I don't personally feel like it. Like LeBron James lowered himself to go talk to Stephen A. Smith. I feel like J. Cole lowered himself to go talk to Academics. He's a scum of the earth.
He kind of is the guy though, which is
I didn't say he was or was not, but like he is this insider guy that like claims to talk to these people, but no one that he claims he talks to ever shows any
they don't sell for him,
ever provide like there's actually a relationship. Like they treat him like he's Dave Meltzer in WWE in the 90s. They treat him like he's a dirty word. Like this is a rag sheet, or actually WCW. This is a rag sheet, brother. That's how they treat him. They keep him fully
funny.
At bay. Like nobody like. Jada and Joe, rappers come on, they play their new music, they talk about their project, blah, blah, blah. And obviously that's a part of this this new era of a campaign for selling for your new music or whatever else. But show up on Joe Budden's podcast, same thing. Academics don't get that. Academics get them releases when everyone else does. He talks about them whenever everyone else does. Like, he could be added to the compilation, to the streamer compilation. Except we know what his jobs used to be.
Academics gets a lot of his cred from, I would say, a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we don't really know about until he reveals it later. Like he said, like QC gave him 30 racks basically to hold off on like talking about a little baby project, which was insane. But because they had a lot of smoke. But
now, which one do you? I'm not a person that would what do you call it? I'm not a person that will call for violence in this way, but don't you think it'd be cheaper to spend 30? Don't you think it'd be cheaper to get someone to knock him off than to spend 30 racks to keep him talking?
Apparently Academics rolls mega deep with super security, but
okay,
yeah,
if you say so.
This is what Curb told me, so like it's Curb plugged in, but
Kirby be talking to Kirby like Academics. Please don't tell me that's true.
He watch all academic shit.
You lying?
Yeah.
I gotta talk to him. Like, there's no way. But I never heard him talk about any of the other, like, I never heard him talk about Budden. I never heard him talk about, like, obviously I don't think Fantano and him would not get along. They have different tastes in music, right? But it makes no sense. Like, Kirby knows he's that dude. Kirby's upbringing is different from that guy, right? Mm-hmm. Like Kirby actually knows some of these street dudes, right? Like Academics only interviews them. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a clear difference. Clear difference. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
But back to the Cole thing, some of the beats he used the Victory beat, which is kind of like, that's Lloyd Banks' beat at this point. I think it's still Lloyd Banks' beat, but nice on him. Use the Black Rob and Locks Can I Live beat, kind of like an all-time freestyle instrumental. Like Jay-Z rapped on this at a different time. A lot of different people got on it. I've rapped on that like years ago. What else?
The second beat?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I was unfamiliar with it. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
And then he went to Who Shot Ya?
Yep.
And then I think the best of them was the Money, Power, Respect one. I think he went crazy on that one, and I like the second one as well. I would probably go 4, 2, 3, 1.
You think the first one's the weakest one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe so.
Yeah, I mean that one was the attention grabber. I mean, maybe it was just because of the beat, but like I thought he rapped his ass off throughout the whole entire thing, all 4 tracks, and I liked it. The second one's probably my least favorite, but like it's probably because of the beat, because obviously like that's one I'm familiar with, and the other 3 are classic beats. Mm-hmm. Not saying that the second one isn't. Like one is like even I know that. Like this second one is like I missed that one.
Yeah. And I
think you should have rapped on Black Ice.
Look, I got a whole different idea. I will say, Cole was like, I was like, man, he kind of gave me an idea to like help promote Free Spirit. So I do have a mixtape coming out, and it's gonna turn around in rather short succession. And that'll be for anybody that's ever broke bread with me previously. They're gonna get that for free in their inbox. So. And then, on the way to Free Spirit, it'll be that. And I've got 2 tracks done already. So this is going to be pretty dope. But back to Cole, I think for him to put this out in anticipation of the fall off is like some people, I don't know. I think it's a strange kind of place for J. Cole to be at, to where it seems like he should be quote unquote above the mixtape raps and stuff like that, but I don't get tired of stuff like this. And I know there's this like resistance against people like rapping about rapping and stuff like that, but I love that shit. Bring it on. Like
yeah, I don't it's definitely a generational thing, right? Like it used to mean something to go on to the radio shows and freestyle. It used to mean something to go to Rap City into the basement and rap. And now it's like, nah, you gotta save all those bars for songs. Or whatever. It's like, nah, some of this stuff isn't gonna be, some of the stuff I think of or whatever else, while it may be cool, like I don't really know what to do with it in regards to formatting it into a song and then fitting into whatever concept I have or vision I have for an album. So either it stays on the cutting room floor and never be used ever again, or I put it out. And he put it out, and like I liked it. Like I feel like more rappers should do these sorts of things or whatever else, because it got some buzz. I mean, maybe that's unfair because of the level of where he is in the game, but like if like I don't see how there's any better or any worse or much different aside of it, rapping over other people's beats than like people dropping the Lucy's.
Yeah, because people don't do the rapping over other people's beats anymore. And you notice he didn't rap on anything modern, so this is like a timepiece. This is like, this is what I grew up doing. This is what this is
Rich. He stole your concept.
I mean, look,
I'm joking. Anybody can rap over old beats, but you know what I'm saying? Like you really did that for real. You got 2 of them.
Yeah. And to the point where it's like a incomplete project now. So like it's just, it lasts forever essentially. But
yeah,
I think in the case to do that is like you pick these beats because these were the beats that were around as you were gaining your bearings, as you were hearing people go on Hot 97, Rap City to Basement, Flex, Power 105, any of these like freestyle institutions, Sway in the Morning, now they have stuff like bars on I-95, different stuff like that. On the radar, people have seen all these different things. Yeah. And it's like some of them have had to with the content ID stuff, everything gets flagged, so you can't like really monetize it. That is like push people away from doing this kind of stuff. But I think Cole just was like, fuck it, we're gonna basically collect some data and I'm gonna be as comfortable as possible, because he's not putting on like anything modern to do this with, because why would you? Like it just don't go correctly. It doesn't feel like some of these beats need to be freestyled to. Well,
I mean, you could, but the thing is, like,
people would think you're remixing
when people rap over other people's beats, it's to elicit this. It's the same thing as a famous sample flip. It's to elicit the nostalgia.
Oh, we did that.
Sorry,
it's like, oh, we did that.
Yeah, it's like it's to elicit the response of what the original song brought to you, and then add your own twist on it with your bars, right? Like, and like, if he were to do that with modern beats, he could, but it wouldn't have the same impact as the classic beats from 25 years or really 30 years ago,
And that's where he sounds the most at home. Like, he sounded just like even better than like some of the album stuff that I think is pretty like well acclaimed from him. Mm-hmm. This is more like, this is where you rap the most relaxed and you don't really have to think about it. You kind of just got to make it sound good and like have a couple of lines that be like, oh shit, what's he doing here? And I hope that he doesn't ever stop doing this. Like, drop these every one of your birthdays. Just give us one of those.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah. I know, that's kind of like a thing. I know a lot of artists
that can be like, I mean, you remember like who was it? Skills used to do the New Year or the year end thing every year for a long time, and that was his thing, right? Like, this could be Cole's gimmick, and after like he does 2 of them, or like, it becomes a thing,
right?
All it takes is him to do it 2 times, and about the 3rd time people are waiting for it.
Yeah. Had DJ Clue hosting the thing, yep. Bro. When I hear the DJ Clue,
the Clue resurgence over the last year is kind of crazy to me.
When I hear,
I don't know what brought that on.
I think it was. It was
Cole. I'm saying, why like Clips did it all over that album. I don't know what's made people start doing this now. Like, I mean, obviously, well, I was gonna say K Slade, or he passed, but like, like. Even hell, I'll go even further. Go back to 2 years ago when you had like the Who Kids stuff that was on the Drake diss.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what's going on with people tapping back in with these with the mixtape DJs? What's going on? Is it just to bring out? Is it like nostalgia of it? Because I mean, like with Clips, it makes sense because like them niggas used to drive from Virginia Beach, or I remember listening to Push T talk about this. He used to drive from Virginia Beach to Norfolk State to get the mixtapes. That literally Clue used to be like, he said like the dude that he threatened he was gonna kill, he was getting them mixtapes from the same nigga. Right? Around, I think you said it's around 95, 96. So it's like, yeah, like I get that. Like that was the era he grew up on as far as mixtape game. Like with Cole, it's like that makes sense because I mean, he's as much of a up north New York rapper as anybody, except he just happened to be from Greenville, right? Like,
I think that's a huge takeaway from this mixtape. It was like, if it wasn't already clear,
I mean, to be fair, he does have a gangster grill, but whatever. He can get away with it. Like, he is aesthetically and like functionally, the way he raps, he's an East Coast rapper. He just has to be from whatever else, and he will, he will do some Lil Jon Eastside Boy shit from time to time, right? Like, but don't get me wrong, like you think of J. Cole, and that's the case with a lot of the North Carolina guys, right? Like, or not all of them, but some of them, right? Like Big Brother was like that. I'm thinking of who else?
Little Brother.
Lil Brother.
Yep.
Lil Brother. There was somebody
I didn't want him to roast you.
Yeah, Lil Brother. Who's that? I said Ninth Wonder. No, nigga, you meant something with a brother, right? And there's another Carolina group that's like that, and I think that a lot of that comes back to like the Great Migration. Like, these folks from the Carolinas and Virginias or whatever else, like up the northern board or whatever else, like from DC and up, like the black people from there, from the Carolinas and from in from Virginia.
Yeah.
Like, so people's cousins, Thanksgiving, what you listen to? Got a Clue tape? What's that? Put it in, change the world, or you put in some K-Slay. Next thing you know, you have J. Cole. Like, there's bound to be something like that. There's a story like that with some of these rappers from the Carolinas and Virginia. I mean, that's definitely the case, or that definitely seems to be the case with Clips.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was really cool. If you guys haven't heard it, I would definitely recommend if you're into J. Cole and you don't have the whole thing of, if you're not held up on he shouldn't be allowed to rap like and quote unquote say he's the best and what it'll do to rappers. Like, if you can get past that, I think you'll enjoy this. If you can't, then it's like,
don't listen to it. Like, that's a weird thing. Like,
is he supposed to stop his career?
If you like rap music, and if someone at the level of rap that J. Cole raps at, because of that, is distasteful to you, fine. I'm not finna force you to listen to good music. I can only say it's good music and leave it at that. Like Kirby, I was in a conversation with, actually speaking of Kirby, I was in a conversation with Alex and Julian and Kirby and Diaz, and Kirby was like, man, I don't want to hear none of that shit. And I was like, okay, it is what you, if that's your thing, all I know is there's plenty of niggas that done way worse that we forgave and continue to move on forward with. Besides, backing out of a rap beef after throwing, the first shot or one of the first shots and then backing out. We've forgiven people for our worst. We've forgiven snitches. We've forgiven COs. Like, I didn't go into that detail, but like, think about it. Come on, man. Like, what are we doing? If you want to be silly, go ahead and be silly. I'm gonna be over here enjoying the music that I like, because quite frankly, there ain't too many rappers I'm checking out to listen to besides maybe two handfuls, and Cole's one of them.
Yeah. I think it's like, it's too scarce of a natural resource to be out here just turning it away. Yeah, to be just turning it away. Like,
bro, when I first heard Jid last year for the first time, I was like, oh, that's I finally got a new rapper I can listen to. Thank you. Thank you. You know how long it's been since there was a new rapper I gave a fuck about?
Black Saber Jr. rap is bombed out and depleted.
I don't think it's bombed out and depleted, but like the stuff that we looked forward to, it just ain't really there in that way, and that's just part of the evolution of the game. Like, it's gonna be that. Like, don't get me wrong, there people still make songs that I like or whatever else, but like, want to sit down and listen to somebody for 45 plus minutes? Not that much, not that many anymore.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's almost like the people that I like someone like a La Russell, for example, does like a lot of freestyles and stuff like that. Does it largely on all original kind of stuff, and he's big into owning his IP and his product content, blah blah blah. But it's not necessarily like a specific song that I'm looking for to listen to by La Russell. It's just I'm in on La Russell,
right?
So it's like, it's not like I'm going for the new project like the second it drops or anything like that. It's like I've already been listening to the catalog. It's just different now. Like, they pull you into the catalog now rather than kind of having you on the edge of your seat for whatever's there, because the catalog is so big at this point, you're almost never going to reach the end of it anyway.
Yeah, and we talked about this with, like, you talk about this Chris Brown or whatever else, is like the way the people gamify their albums is like, I don't have time to listen to 20 tracks. Like, people do that now.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's just different, and it's going to be different because like the game has moved on, is moving past me. That's how it's supposed to be. But it's not like I don't enjoy it. There's nothing that particularly grabs me in that way where I'm like, yo, I need to listen to this person for 45 plus minutes. Now, they still deal with R&B, but R&B still for old niggas. And I'm an old nigga now. So that's
But yeah.
Yeah, like
check
when we came back from Texas, like, I felt like that Giveon came out that same weekend as that Clips. I played the Clips all around y'all, and then when I got on the plane to ride back to Tampa, put on the Giveon while I was in the air.
Yeah, I think Cole kind of played it smart. 11 minutes in and out, 4 freestyles. It's over before you even kind of know it or whatever, and then it's like you're running it back. So should we
call it the
concept.
mixtape? Should we call it like a mix EP?
That shit was a punch, like, you know, here you go, just a jab, you know. But yeah, man. So
the really good stuff, and I mean, you know, as using it as a promotional tool for the fall off, like I mean, I think it's unique and it worked, or it's working for me.
Yeah,
like this might be my most anticipated J. Cole project, like at least since 2014, Forest Hills.
Supposedly it's supposed to be a double album, so you know, I won't fight him on giving us more. So
yeah, I mean, I like that. You know, we talked about it. Was it 2 weeks ago? Like, I really like that. That first track, that disc 2, track 2.
Yeah. So moving on, I want to talk about Triple H. Triple H is the cover of the WWE 2K26 King of Kings edition, I believe, and he's also featured on 2 other versions of the cover, the Monday Night War one as well as the Attitude Era one, and this led to people just like basically flipping out. And then it was like okay, I'll say this. I think there is something to be said for being on 3 different versions and them doing the Triple H version. It's like, okay, should he not be the booker, right? Say Triple H was like either like removed from the company or Lord forbid he died or something, right? And they were like, we're going to do a Triple H cover on the video game or whatever. It's a, you know, whatever. He's big enough to get one of those, right? Yeah. I don't think that's not the issue here. I think the thing is, this nigga is Suge Knight, dog. Or excuse me, he's not Suge Knight. He's Diddy. He's all in the videos. Like, he's just on everything. Dancing, on the record. Like, every big show. First pop entrance. On all the posters. On the video game. Now, it just comes at the end of this. And the worm is turned on how people feel about his booking. So you're getting a lot of people being like, you know what, I'm tired of this nigga, man. Just go away, please. What the fuck? And then
you forgot Unreal too.
Oh yeah, that thing too. Yeah, like all these, you know, all this self-fellatio from this guy. So it's like, I feel like, and then this like kind of grew into, well, remember them WWE documentaries used to be acting like this nigga was like the nigga, like he was the man in the Attitude Era, and it was like Shawn Michaels was his homeboy and shit, and it was like, huh? Like, and I think a lot of people have corrected that. I figured that we could add to that correction as well with Triple H, because look, Triple H arrives in WWE in 1995 as Jean-Pierre Levesque or whatever, like, or he's Hunter Hearst Helmsley off the rip, but you know, he was Jean-Pierre Levesque.
WCW.
So he was there.
The bullshit French aristocrat gimmick,
right. So he comes in, kind of a slim build guy, tall, athletic guy, whatever. Wears a ponytail, looking like he's wearing rider pants and shit. That shit ain't hitting on nothing. Let's just say that. It's just, he's a nigga that's there. This guy becomes friends with the clique, carries the bags. This guy drives all these people around, takes care of these people.
Because he's the only sober one.
Correct. Takes care of these people that are on all these various versions of pills, liquor, and other type of debauchery that's going on here. He's driving these people town to town and all that. 1996. He gets squished by the Ultimate Warrior after Ultimate Warrior no-sells him at WrestleMania. And Lord, that is probably the beginning of his origin story, where he will never go out like that again. Curtain call comes after that. After all these guys leave, and the only person left to punish is Triple H. And
well, they could have punished Shawn, but
they could have. But you know,
he's one of their top guys, so.
Right? You know, and there are other conspiracy theories as well, but I'm not going to delve into those.
Oh Lord!
So at that point, so at that point, allegedly Triple H is punished, but it's almost like, hold on, he was supposed to win King of the Ring. He does not win King of the Ring. However, he ends up with the Intercontinental Championship at the end of the summer, so it was a very short-lived punishment. But through that time, he's, missing pay-per-views. He's, eating shit on the house show circuit, apparently. So,
yeah,
not
it's
really much of a punishment.
I would say it's all important house show circuits. Then you remember, like they flipped the title like twice in that era, like right before on the fucking house shows.
Right.
Yeah.
So in 96, a lot of other things are taking form. Stone Cold Steve Austin starting to grow legs in the company. When he wins that King of the Ring instead of Triple H. Shawn Michaels is the world champion. The Rock arrives at Survivor Series 1996 as Rocky Maivia, and Hunter's actually in the ring with him. Hunter from there moves forward, trying to just move up the card any way he can at that point. And he's having, intercontinental title feuds for like almost through the next up until February. He actually drops an IC belt to The Rock as Rocky Maivia. Rocky Maivia, everybody, they kind of pop for the title change, but that's about it. Maivia is not really over. They actually have a rematch.
We'll see that in future if we go through this deep dive completely.
Yeah, they have a rematch in, I believe, the Final Four pay-per-view in February 97. Hunter wins it back, I believe, and then Hunter and Goldust get to it at the next WrestleMania. Actually, no, Hunter does not win it back. Rock keeps it.
Put Devlin's comment up on the screen, please.
Hunter and Rocky stinking up the mid card. Yeah, look. They don't get good until 98.
Yeah, we don't talk about pre-98 Rock like that. We don't.
So Hunter at this point goes through the summer, and then he's fighting Goldust at WrestleMania. He wins his King of the Ring this time. He finally gets it. They give him the crown. He doesn't want to wear it and all this stuff and the King gimmick, but it's still clear they want Triple H to be something, but he's not really anything. Also, they introduced China around this time during the Goldust feud, which actually gets him kind of moving a little bit because China is such a awesome, looking athlete. It is just different than anything that's ever done.
So, it was ingenious. It was like, I'm gonna have my heater be a woman. It was it was brilliant at the time. He's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. So
and now we've seen it in the recent in the modern era be modernized with Rhea Ripley and now with Marina. It works like a charm. It works like a charm.
And then Triple H from there, falls into the fall season, aligning with Shawn Michaels, and somehow they're on the same side, and then Kane and Undertaker are on the other, or Undertaker and Mankind are on the other side, or something like that. I forgot how it all links up.
It's okay. It was 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's like I think I'm giving plenty of details to get a little slack.
Now I should give Rich more shit because there's no telling whether or not Rich has watched this over the last year or not, on his own, because he probably has. Have you watched? Yeah, because Rich be watching Superstars and shit at random or whatever else. So I don't even know.
So I hadn't watched
90 Superstars, by the way.
Yeah.
Not 90 Superstars.
Yeah. So he aligns with Shawn, and they create D-Generation X. Shawn is the world champion, goes through the Montreal screw job, and DX is fucking up everything as far as the comedy, and Shawn Michaels is running a fucking muck essentially. And then they got China. It's a cool stable,
and Rick Rude doing not a goddamn thing except for holding the briefcase, holding the Halliburton.
Yes. Rude leaves the company. Triple H, I believe, fucks up his knee at a certain point. Shawn fucks up his back against the Undertaker in '98. By this time,
98 Royal Rumble. So right before, months before, he's about to drop the belt off to Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, and at this time, Hunter is
because I know people may or may not have gone through our multiple times we've talked about the Montreal screw job, so you gotta make sure. When Shawn hurts his back, everyone thinks he's faking, he's giving out a bunch of reasons for people that think he's faked injuries in the past, and he's doing this so he doesn't have to lose the belt to Steve Austin. And people were like, nah, we don't believe you. And Fat Undertaker actually said, he taped his fist up and sat by Gorilla waiting to see if there's some bullshit was gonna pop up on Shawn. He's gonna whoop his ass. And then ultimately he retired for like multiple years after that.
And it is very important to note, Triple H is the distant second person, the lackey, the little homie, the young wrestler behind Shawn Michaels. And it's not like no Wardlow MJF situation. It's not like that at all. This is my young homeboy I decided to start hanging out with or whatever because I have no other friends on screen. That's what this was. Now, Hunter ends up working with Owen Hart because Shawn Michaels thinks Owen Hart is going to shoot on him. So it falls to Hunter, essentially. And now Hunter's working with Owen Hart, but, the heat's not really there. They're fighting over the European belt and everything like that. Then Triple H actually gets a little bit of juice, finally, the day after WrestleMania. Yep. When Shawn Michaels retires, Triple H comes out there and was like, you turn to your blood, you turn to the Click. And what happens? X-Pac comes back from WCW wearing a DX shirt, and then they reform DX with him, and then the New Age Outlaws, who had been teaming together, are looped in the group, and they have this babyface mid-card group with Chyna, X-Pac, Hunter, Triple H, and the Road Dogg. Now,
I'm laughing because you brought up the X-Pac thing. You know what I'm thinking of? That terrible promo he cut.
Hulk Hogan, you suck, pal.
He said, Hulk Hogan said I couldn't cut the mustard. Well, guess what, Hogan? You suck, pal. Why did they hear you on mic? You lucky you were good. You lucky you was a good ass wrestler, boy. You lucky you was good in that ring.
So Hunter, at this time, they start a beef with the Nation. So it's time for Triple H and The Rock round 2. But this time, Triple H is the babyface. The Rock is the heel. But The Rock at this time is rapidly ascending and he improves so much during 1998. It's ridiculous how fast he gets better.
Him and Triple H both, honestly.
Yeah, because Triple H was before 98. I was never trying to watch no Triple H matches.
Right.
And even then, it would be like, okay, Triple H and The Rock, Triple H and D-Lo used to, have some good ones.
Yep.
Whenever X-Pac was in there with him, that was my favorite member in DX was X-Pac. But it was
same.
He's rising up or whatever, but The Rock is clearly that nigga. And then Rock basically drops the belt. He loses at SummerSlam, but he really wins because he's the one getting elevation.
Right.
And Triple H is here with this Intercontinental title, and what do you know it? He's injured again.
Also, if you go back and watch that 98 SummerSlam ladder match, it is fucking hilarious. Rock takes not a damn high spot bump off that ladder. Triple H is dying. He's taking all the big bumps in this match. It's fucking hilarious.
So let's just also set the stage for the rest of the environment. This is purely in the mid card right here. The DX Nation thing, the DX invasion happens during this point, but these guys are they're not Austin. This is not Vince McMahon. This is not Mick Foley, Kane, Undertaker. This is far underneath that.
They get to that. They don't. Triple H doesn't get to that level until 99.
Right. And
the middle of 99.
Mind you, Kane wins the belt in 98, even though he gives it back or whatever. He was so hot.
This is when they started the hot potato era of title reigns. You could used to be able to track who was the champion through all their various champions, and then all of a sudden it's boom, 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 boom. 98 is they're hot potatoing. It's crazy.
Yeah. From there, Triple H gets hurt again, and then it's he has a choice to make by that time because at this time he sees The Rock ascending. The Rock is the champion now, and then the company looks like is pointing at Rock and Austin, and you're damn Skippy, it was pointing at Rock and Austin. So how is he going to catch up? And at this time, he comes back from that knee injury. It's with DX still. DX is popular. No, everybody loves DX, but Triple H sees the game passing him by, no pun intended. And by the time WrestleMania 15 comes, he's in there with Kane.
Yep.
And now it's well, what's going on here? So at this point,
can I intervene?
Sure.
You know what I'm about to say, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So, two things.
Well, get there. Look,
I'll get to that after. But the first thing, in the build-up to Kane versus Triple H WrestleMania 15, Kane had a match, I think it was the Go Home show. Yes, Rich, I'm saying it was fucking hilarious. Kane has a go-home show match with Goldust. Out comes Goldust. He has the wig, he has the face paint, he has the robe. All of a sudden, he gets in the ring, and I'm looking at him like, that ain't Goldust. Goldust's face, why does Goldust's face, nose look longer than it normally is, whatever else? Next thing I know, they in the ring about to start the match. All of a sudden, Goldust opens up his robe and pulls out a bazooka. He pulls out the big 5, and then he sprays Kane with a wall of fire. He caned Kane. You know, Kane got fire powers, right? He caned Kane. Yes. And then Kane is falling around and rolling around in pain and anguish. And I almost say Rick Ross. Jim Ross is losing his mind, and all of a sudden, off comes the robe, off comes the wig. It's Triple H dressed as Goldust, and that was the go home angle for their match for WrestleMania 15. Is he just shot a nigga with a wall of fire? Let's see if they have the match in 6 days. That's the build.
So, but it turned out to be a ruse. So he turns at WrestleMania on X-Pac. And then Chyna, who had defected by this time, it looked like she turned with DX, but that was not to be the case. It was like a double turn because Kane was in the corporation. Triple H is now aligned with the corporation temporarily with The Rock, which was hilarious for about a month. Triple H and The Rock in the same faction. And mind you, the corporation has always been above Triple H at this point. Like, Triple H is never, and he goes to the corporation, and it's like he's biding his time, kind of. At this point, Triple H, remember I mentioned Triple H being like this slim kind of guy. He gets bigger throughout 97, 98 a little bit, but not in like some massive way. Now, he cuts his hair, he starts wearing trunks, and then he gains 35 pounds of muscle magically.
And when we say 35 pounds of muscle, we mean from, if you just watch that Kane match at WrestleMania 15, and then you go to SummerSlam, you're like, how's the same person?
And that is very important.
Given how tall he is like, this legitimately, he's put on 30 pounds of pure muscle mass. It makes no sense outside of what you're thinking right now when you're listening to this.
Yeah, and it is very important to note, between that WrestleMania and the SummerSlam, they're doing a lot to try to elevate this guy. They're having him in there with The Rock a lot. He's fighting a bunch of 3-way matches with like The Undertaker, and he's changing his presentation. I believe it's the first time he gets like the All About the Game music, but it's the old version, hard as shit.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Look, similar to Naito, that nigga don't miss on entrance music
at all.
Never. All his entrance music has always been hard. So for those that are thinking like recent body transformations, right? Like Kyle Fletcher over the last 2 years, right? Swerve over the last 2 years, right? Swerve, while adding on muscle mass, has not gotten more cut. Kyle Fletcher has managed to add on muscle mass and get more cut, right? Which makes you raise the eyebrow, right? The Kyle Fletcher body transformation
pales
nothing,
in comparison.
Nothing compared to Triple H transformation over 4 months. Nothing. You'd be like, there's something going on here. Like, this man might grow 3 eyes, given what he's doing to himself. There's no other option. And gotta keep in mind, this is a guy that, like, we find out later about this. This is a guy that was a bodybuilder since he was a teenager. There's no way that he is not like one of those.
Finally kicked in.
Yeah, it's not like one of those situations where, like, when it comes to like kids that play football, or like me, for example, right? Like, I was 6'4", 260. Like, and I was skinny fat or whatever else, right? Like, and I did not know how much protein you're supposed to take, and none of that, right? Like, and I'd never taken creatine until 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago, right? I walk around in 270s, 280s now because, like, I figured it out. I'm not someone that I'll be one of the kids that, like, they go to a weight room, get on a weight program, and they blow up and put on 30 pounds over summer. That Triple H wasn't one of those guys. Triple H always had that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so like I think it's very important to note the timeline as well. Look how long we've been talking before it seems like Triple H is scratching the surface at all of being at the top because
of the Monday Night War. Keep in mind, Nitro started in '96 that we're talking about right now. We're in the middle of '99, and we're now talking about being put into the main event scene.
And the Attitude Era, which I think dies a death at WrestleMania 13, or excuse me, the New Generation dies at WrestleMania 13, and the Attitude Era is born between Austin and Brett, essentially, and then that's like at least the prequel of it, right? Now, Hunter, by this time, it's 1999. This is 2 years later, and time moved so fast back then. Like, it could be radically different. Like, nowadays, you can see 2 years, like, nothing changes or whatever. Like,
it feels that way sometimes, yeah.
But back then, the difference between 1997 WWE and 1999 is like
totally different.
Totally different. Now, he cuts the "I Am the Game" promo and all that. Wears the hat backwards. He's looking like Shane Douglas. Some people point out
the backwards leather Kangol. Yeah.
Yep. And then, like, by the time SummerSlam '99 comes, they want Stone Cold Steve Austin to put him over, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin is like, "I'm not putting that mid Carter over." Like,
and then they're probably backstage, but look at him, but look at him now. He looks like a main eventer now. He has a better body than you now, Steve.
Yeah, it is like Austin that by this time is like he's about to go basically get his surgery or whatever, and they got Rock doing bullshit this whole time. Right now in '99, he's feuding with Billy Gunn and shit. It's like colossal failure booking on the Rock side. Rock's turned babyface by this time, so at that point, Vince McMahon and Austin was winding down, like, as a feud primarily. So it was like, all right, who's going to be the top bad guy? And then you start linking Triple H with Stephanie there on screen. And then Triple H has to beat Mick Foley in a 3-way and then pin him the next night to solidify himself. So no one really buys that he's a champion, even though it's like, oh, wow, this guy finally fucking broke through. Like, just years after everyone else. Fucking Mankind won the belt already. Undertaker, Kane, Austin, Rock. These are all niggas that were in front of him that were way bigger stars than him. But by the time he gets there, it's like he's the last guy to kind of arrive at that level. When was Vince champion? Right after that.
Okay, right after. Okay.
So, like, they're doing a bunch of shenanigans because they don't really trust him yet, so they have to shuffle it around, including making Vince McMahon the champion, and Triple H wins it back, so they try to spam a couple title reigns on him, but it doesn't really take until 2000, when, you know, he starts getting into, feuding with Foley again and basically ending Foley's career and shit like that. Has that awesome match at the Royal Rumble, beats Big Show January 3rd, 2000. And then at this point, Triple H is a top guy or whatever.
And he's he's legitimately there by that point in time. Before it was like, you know, this is the thing when people talk about, like, you know, you gotta, when we talk about building stars, like, they were building him up that whole time. And, like, it takes some time for it to finally take. By 2000, it was like, yeah, I may hate him, but he's also really, by that point in time, by WWE standards, he was really good. And he was perfect. He was a great foil for Rock and Austin at that point in time.
And he's slightly younger than a lot of these folks, too. Like, Foley's body's destroyed. Yep. Austin has the neck. Rock is still there as a contemporary, but mind you, Rock's like a year away from starting to make movies. Undertaker's older by that time. Yep. Had always talked about retiring. Kane's like a gimmick wrestler. So, like, when you look at it,
it's funny that you mentioned that. That's true. Undertaker talking about retiring back then is like he had making it go another literally another 20 years.
Yeah, and then you look around at that roster before Kurt Angle really gets rolling, before Jericho and all them come in.
99 or 2000.
He gets there at the very end of 99.
Okay, yeah.
Nobody else is around, kind of, but Triple H and Rock to really keep the shit going, and they keep the shit going.
It would have been Owen.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they would ever push Owen at that level again.
You're right, but they would have had an option of it, but they didn't have the option because he fucking died under their negligence.
Yeah. I don't think Austin would ever work with Owen either. But
after he broke his neck, yes, I guess.
Yeah. Yes. I think that in 2000 they get it rolling, but it's an ensemble cast by that point. You got the Radicals coming in. You got Benoit. You got Guerrero, Jericho, all like
Perry Saturn, yeah.
Perry Saturn, this fresh injection to the mid card, because you look at that mid card that's under all them and it was fucking shaky after a while.
It's Billy Gunn.
They tried to make Billy Gunn work. It did not work.
200 worker in the world at that point in time, like Dave Meltzer said. I don't give a fuck what y'all were arguing about. Like, yes, I like Mr. Ass. I like the Famous as a finisher move, or whatever else. In fact, Billy Gunn was one of my favorite wrestlers ever played with in a video game. It don't matter. What was on screen was on screen. And on screen, he was not elite. That's not a pun.
So, Triple H, Reign of Terror 2000. Seems like he's got a death grip on the championship. Sends James off into a decade of exile as a wrestling fan, just because he keeps fucking winning. And they finally let Rock win, not at WrestleMania.
The pay-per-view after WrestleMania. Suck my dick.
Yep. So, from there, it's like, all right, Triple H is looking around, and there's people that want to come up. He's trying to hold off Chris Jericho, all that heat with him or whatever. And, Jericho comes into WWE. He's fucking hotter than the sun, knocks it out the park, at the beginning. Yep. He's instantly a threat. So, like, really from this point forward, it's the Triple H is like, a top star going forward. Eventually he has a few with Austin and, like, kind of gets the better of him, in early 2001. All throughout 2000, he's, some people say he was a wrestler of the year that year. Has, a bunch of different, matches with Rock and different stuff in 2000. And Kurt Angle, there was a few with him, but he didn't really want to really commit to it because Triple H has such an ego. Yeah. He could not fathom the Triple H character, like, losing Stephanie McMahon to Kurt Angle. Like, he would not sell it whatsoever.
Can you put Devlin on the screen? Now, Rich alluded to this.
Absolutely true.
Rich alluded to this. This is the reason why I walked away from pro wrestling for a decade. Like, when Triple H won the WrestleMania main event, when he beat Foley in Rock in that Fatal 4-Way elimination thing, I was like, I'm done. Fuck this. This is stupid. This is dumb. A heel in WrestleMania? What is this? I'm done. And they come back into WrestleMania 20 until I heard word of mouth about WrestleMania 25. So, Undertaker and Shawn match.
So what happens is Triple H, by this time, they get to the biggest WrestleMania ever at this point. WrestleMania 2001, WrestleMania 17. And what is the main event?
Not him.
It's Stone Cold versus The Rock. And then the semi-main event is Triple H and The Undertaker in a match where I would have, if I gave you $1 right now and told you, tell me what that shit was about. What was they fighting over? One of y'all would be scrambling. Y'all had to be watching footage trying to figure that shit out.
I forgot what it was about.
Exactly. Like, and then it's just like these two big stars. There's nothing to do with them. Just put them together or whatever. But you look at that whole show. Like, Triple H got a WrestleMania main event in 2000 or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And you go forward. He gets to that 2001. He comes out of there, and the thing is, he's supposed to kind of turn babyface or whatever, but it don't quite work like that because Austin is also a heel now. So it's like, all right, he should have been turned babyface to fight with Austin since he beat Austin.
But nobody wants to pay to see Triple H win as a conquering hero.
So what did they do? They make the 2-man power trip or whatever, so we could be top heels together or whatever. Now it's like, you don't get these wins back, Steve. So. And The Rock is gone at this point because he's out filming the first movie. King? I believe so. And now Triple H tears his fucking quad, and then he misses the entire invasion. So imagine what Triple H would have loved to do to them WCW niggas off the rip.
Oh, I feel like he made up for lost time.
Yeah. So he misses 2001, and then that's the end of the Attitude Era. You guys have the rest in the Ruthless Aggression Era, right? Now, as we review that, right, does that sound like somebody that was the top star as these WWE documentaries have basically, airbrushed this history?
A guy that got one main event. Meanwhile, Steve Austin got multiple main events, and so did The Rock. And when it came down to like stuff like SummerSlam or whatever else, you also had Undertaker with more of the or big four pay-per-view, main events and stuff. Like, yeah, nah, man, it's ridiculous.
It's like he was a guy. He worked at the top. He wrestled a lot of the people that were the top people.
He's a main eventer. He's a main eventer. You could argue he's even a top guy. I'm not arguing he's not, but he wasn't an ace. They had two aces in the company. He wasn't even close to either one of them.
Correct. No matter how much he had the championship at a certain point, the ace was The Rock by that time because Austin was in and out with the neck, and when Austin came back, it was Austin again. So now
it's one of the rare instances where a promotion had two aces at the same time, and Triple H was neither one of them.
And then by the time
you make an argument there were three of them in Vince, that still ain't Triple H.
Correct. And then you think about 2002 going forward. By that time, Rock and Triple H are out of the picture. So Triple H finally gets what he wants. He's at the top. And what does that coincide with? Raw being as terrible as it's ever been in the history of anything. Him cosplaying Ric Flair. And then all of a sudden, he's the old money guy. And then we know how much y'all like that reign. You don't. So... I gotta say, I think there's been some deceptive, history writing here. But what do? When you own the history and you run the promotion now, this is what happens. I try to present this. Yes, I try to present this as fairly as possible or whatever, and accurate to the history. But brother, like I think, I think people watch too many documentaries and. They just weren't there.
Well, Rich, just like we talk about people, the documentaries or whatever else, it's like throwing on the morning sports talk show or looking at the box score. We watched the games.
We were there, man.
We were there for it. We were there. We watched the games.
Like he absolutely was responsible for having some really good death matches. He was linked with a lot of people that were important and all that.
He looked cool.
He looked cool. He was jacked at a certain point. Like when he wet the hair, it was like, oh, okay, this guy looks like a kind of a bad motherfucker now or whatever. Because like straight hair Triple H wasn't scaring a fucking soul. Like he was just a geek or whatever. Now.
But when he started spitting water everywhere and put on 35 pounds of muscle mass, like, oh, there's a difference. There's something going on now. But look, man, it's how do I say this? It's not to knock him. Like, look, he absolutely outkicked his coverage in life. He made he maximized his opportunities. But it wasn't like he was, it wasn't like he was Austin. It wasn't like he was Rock. And if Foley was in better health situation, whatever else, Foley got over in a way that like he means more to people that watch in that era than Triple H ever will.
Yeah, like if we call any of our homeboys and be like, "Hey, man, you remember wrestling, right? Who did you like back in the day?" They'd be like, "Oh man, I like Stone Cold. Hell, they might even talk about some WCW people. I like Goldberg. I like the NWO.
Goldberg, they'll say Rey Mysterio.
Yes." Yeah,
absolutely.
Fucking Booker T, Sting. Like Sting, The Rock, shit like that. If they mention Triple H,
but then they'll be like, remember Kane because of the whole soap opera storyline with the ridiculous dead brother thing or whatever else brought it back to life. Yeah, Triple H. Sean's homeboy. Yeah, he's cool. Shrug it like that. Shoulders.
The Nation of Domination in DX. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that when it was on the tank. Okay. Yeah. Like that's it. Like that's not like top star. Like
he's in the essay. He's not the first paragraph.
Yeah. So hopefully that sets the record straight.
You're a pro at running your life, at committing to your workout, at showing up every day. At Bombas, we're pros too. Pros at making socks. Our sport assortment has specialized socks for whatever sport you're committed to. Running, hiking, golf, Pilates, and so much more. Made with sweat-wicking yarns, blister-fighting details, and targeted arch support. Bombas Sport is pro-level socks from the pros of socks. For another pro, you. Go to bombas.com/audio and use code audio for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com and use code audio.
Tommaso Ciampa has signed with AEW. He comes directly off of WWE after his contract expired. When I first saw this last night, I was pretty excited because I thought it was a really good presentation. Came out and it looked like I saw his trademark stuff. I actually meant to bring him up last week. I just flubbed it when we were talking about all those exoduses and all that.
We also forgot to talk about, the national championship game too, but it is what it is. Things fall between the cracks.
Yeah.
Pause.
Ooh, baby.
Even the most basic sayings now are just out the window now.
Nope.
Thanks,
can't say nothing
homophobia.
no more. But Tommaso Ciampa arrives in AEW, and to say there's people that are skeptical of it would probably be being nice about that. I saw this guy, and I was like, yo, at one point, this was like the best heel in the world.
Yeah.
And
if not, if he's like, well, what about Kenny Omega? Okay, fine. North America.
Yeah. This guy was like a really good talker, really good wrestler, and like he never got a real shot on the main roster at all. And you would think with Triple H in position, he might have got a look at some point, but it just didn't happen for him. I saw it. I was like, this guy should be looked at as a fumble. Like, I know he's had injury problems with the neck and different stuff like that, but they just used him as a tag team wrestler and, didn't really put much into him. And when it comes to AEW, you already see what they got him doing now. And I was very positive on this.
Yeah. I see at worst, very good wrestler come into a work rate promotion, and he's going to wrestle another, at worst, very good wrestler in a match on Saturday, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have a great match. What's the problem? Twitter's not a real place, but my timeline did have a lot of, oh God, him. Then they start talking about Gargano, and it's like, okay, guys, I get it. Like, y'all don't like them, cool. However, you guys are in the minority. Most people that saw that stuff thought the world of it, except for One Final Heartbeat. If you want to hang on the part where, they had one of the better feuds in North American pro wrestling history, and then they flubbed the ending, so therefore everything sucks, and I'm like, okay, well then fine then. I guess Sting versus NWO never mattered.
Look, One Final Heartbeat was trash.
It was.
But brother, like,
it was bad. Even if it would have been bad, even if it was lit correctly. It was not shot and lit correctly. It was dark. You couldn't see none.
But it's like, I don't think this guy's gonna be putting out one final beat each week.
Rich, you know what happened after that? He had that takeover match with Gunther like a year after that. We pretend like all this stuff, like their careers literally ended the second that they did that Johnny Gargano heel turn thing. Like, forget like the matches with every, like that match where they sent the Avengers out there to carry Karrion Kross or whatever else, right? With Dunn and O'Reilly and Adam Cole and Gargano, right? Forget like the stuff that Gargano did with, that Ciampa did with Walter. Forget all that. Forget like, Gargano having like coming in when he got to the main roster and basically like on pay-per-view having good ass match after good ass match, right? For a time until they've said, well, he's not over, we gotta take him off pay-per-view. Like, they just pretend like the pandemic, like they caused a pandemic. Like, we already knew COVID was happening. They had that shitty match, and then months later, like, or actually, it came over. Then they couldn't have the match we were supposed to have, and then like Dark Ages or whatever. And like, sure, it was Dark Ages for NXT, but it's like these guys' careers moved on, and they had good things, and they did good things after that. Like, It's really weird. Like I can't think of another time where like wrestlers get grouped in for one thing that really sucked, and like and now that everyone thinks of that now, and that maybe it's also the other side of like, well, the opposite of AEW when they're running out that shit, and also is like, you know, fuck the Fed, like because a lot of this stuff comes from people that like their personality online is just fuck the Fed, like they're exterminate, they're Nazi Germany, and I'm like, all right, bro, like I don't like them either, I don't like their politics either, but like. It's pro wrestling at the end of the day, and like occasionally they do good pro wrestling. Occasionally,
I think my issue with it, because you know I'm a proud fuck the Fed flag waver.
But I'm talking a little differently. Like I'm talking about their whole entire online personality is that. I'm not talking about you. Like you're not like AJ Styles sucks now because he's in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so. I think the problem for me is like not that they act like that stuff that you mentioned didn't happen. The stuff before that, like where they were drawing big money and selling out arenas across the country and smoking the main roster of WWE and having these critically acclaimed matches that I guess, you know, at some point delved into tropiness or whatever to some people. But brother, I heard them arenas. I traveled for them shows. Yeah. Like these niggas was like a group of like, you know, like 12 to like 14 guys like that were like, you know, when you start talking about now, do people have reservations because the folks that have come to AEW, about half of them have worked out? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand that. But bro, like if the door's locked, it's just like, I feel like it's you got to find out. You got to see if it's a Malachi Black, a Keith Lee, or if it's a Swerve Strickland, or if it's an Adam Cole like that. And the thing is, Cole got fucked by injuries. Everybody loves that fucking guy. And like he came in and he was working with everybody. So like, I think it's just a very limiting way to kind of look at this guy. He's 40 years old, relatively unexposed at the top level. This stuff is an NXT. That's a distant memory at this point, right? Yeah. So it's like this guy's fresh all over again because there are a lot of people that just didn't watch and didn't see what he was doing in WWE.
And also, like, it's not like he's going to be jettisoned to the main event. Like, he's not going to get an Adam Cole push. Like, he's not going to be he's not going to get a title match on pay-per-view, like, within 6 months of being in the company. I don't imagine. They put him straight to the TNT title.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't want to see anybody from NXT anymore, look, they're running out of guys that were there in that time period at this point, but it ain't Ciampa that's going to break them. It's Gargano if he ever starts to jumping over.
Yeah, and they'll be talking tons of shit until you get a fucking DIY Young Bucks match that gets 6 stars. And then they'll be like, you know, the Young Bucks carried Gargano to a great match. All right, man. They're kind of three of the same fucking guy.
Yeah. So like, it was funny because when I saw Ciampa and then I thought about FTR having a match later, and I was like, man, I remember those matches or whatever. Yeah. And then it was just like, all right, do we want to do the place and time thing with them? And you know, is it like, maybe it's a product of his time, how good that stuff was, maybe or whatever. And it was like, you know, what NXT, what we thought it was and what it became. And I think once the hope kind of died out of it, it was tough to really kind of see those guys. But I don't know.
Well, you gotta
much like J. Cole.
When we add to your point, what Rich mean by that is like we had a discussion on this. Like at a certain point, NXT went from being like a place of this is where they're going to star build, and this is how to it's almost like college where to get to the NBA, where they build star appeal or whatever else, to get buzz for people when they come up to the main roster. It turned into this is a hoarding closet to keep talent from being able to build a potential New Japan like North America strategy or what became AEW.
Right. And they would never really get a chance on the main roster. As you can see, mixed results. Sometimes you're Walter, other times you're Gargano, other times you're out the company or whatever after your, you know, second or third match on the main roster like Swerve, because you get caught up in other people's political backstage stuff. So it's like they've had a different amount of talent slip through the cracks for whatever reason. They're always going to have talent. They're WWE. So like, unless you want these guys to end their careers, essentially, I don't know what people were complaining about seeing Tommaso Ciampa come out, a guy that got a big pop, got a lot of social media traffic there, and then like he has a history of doing good work. And I think there's just enough. And, you know, is there injury concerns? Sure. But y'all niggas ain't the ones doing the operations on him. You don't have to pay him. So, like, I think the only thing is, like, all right, if he's healthy, I think he's going to produce.
Of course he is. Look, man, there are tons of, or not, there have been a number of people, for whatever reason, they had strikes against them. And me and you are talked about this offer and be like, you put them in the ring, they gonna produce. And they went out there and they produced and got over for a certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden they got taken off because, you know, they were working with other people. But whatever. But it's like, he's gonna be one of those guys, like, I'm not gonna be surprised when Tommaso Ciampa has good ass matches on TV. He's a good ass wrestler.
Good point. Tony Storm, you know, like if everybody's not allowed in because of like whatever, like then it's like eventually you're not going to be allowing people in, because we seen what the AEW scouting department looks like, who they pulling up that's like they're pure creations. Like I think you like basically Ciampa, there's a low spade right now. It's like you buying low, essentially, on a guy. He's coming in. He's not somebody that's like, he's walking off WWE TV and it's like, this is one of the biggest stars in the business. This is like, he slots in immediately. He has almost, it's like he can't go anywhere but up.
I for those that don't like it, I don't get, like, the worst case scenario is a good wrestler shows up and has good matches on the pro wrestling show where that has a bunch of good matches. Like, I don't. Is it a situation where, like, I don't want him because like, if your situation is I don't want him because I don't want anybody else's roster too bloated, I get that. But that's not like the sentiment I was getting from reading these tweets when I was looking at it. It was like, nah, man, it's black and gold. All NXT and WWF stuff related stuff is bad. I don't want it over here. It's like, all right, well, let me know how much you hate Tony Storm. Then, oh, you don't? Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah, it's like
your Avi is Swerve staring deep into Hangman Adam Page's eyes. Oh, okay, all right.
I wonder
where he came from too.
Yeah, I think that when you look at these folks that come from NXT, it's like, all right, if you believe in AEW, I think you should be welcoming kind of to these people, because maybe they weren't like, if you hate the Fed as much as you say, right? That means you probably didn't like the way these people were being directed or whatever.
Exactly.
You didn't like the way these people were being used.
I mean, let's just
so maybe they're used another way, in a way that is more familiar for you.
I mean, let's just cut the shit. If AEW had started in 2015 or 16 or 17 instead of 2019, all of them NXT guys would have been in AEW on the launch. They've been launching on the roster, right? Like Ciampa, Adam Cole, Gargano, Swerve, Keith Lee, Riddle, all them dudes, all of them would have been O'Reilly and Fish and Rodney Strong. All them dudes would have been on the starting launch date roster of AEW. Like, so that's why when they're doing the NXT versus AEW thing and start or whatever else, and then when people come over, it's like, this person would have been here day one if they weren't bought out and saw Triple H and Regal and them didn't see the value of getting these people out of here.
I also think it's a difference between 2022 and 2026. That shit is long gone now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so it's like, if there's resistance back then, I kind of get it. So, but like, that shit is, that's just dead and gone. And it's like, they still got value. They still got something to offer. And at the end of the day, it's like, stop crying. Like, like it's not, unless it's just, you just so sensitive to where it's like, I don't want nobody coming into AEW without my clearance. You don't run the company. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, it's just like I think, in Ciampa's case, there's a lot to be, kind of excited about, especially.
We're not gonna be done with this either, right? Like, this is gonna happen to other people. Like, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, especially Pete Dunne. They're gonna break their foot off in his ass with that the UK
not the way
they're gonna break their foot off whenever they show up. But when British
he gonna earn it. Look, he gonna earn it.
But when British Strong Style show up and the match start going off, I don't want to hear nothing because they're fucking incredible and they still young.
That's also another part of this. Most of those guys are young. Ciampa's a little older or whatever, but most of these people are young. And look, man, like, it's not like Matt Riddle's being, escorted into the premises. If you want to be upset at seeing someone like a Matt Riddle, sure, but Ciampa doesn't have those stripes against him. So I don't know, man. I think it's like, it's time to let it go. Like, it's time to let the NXT Black and Gold Resistance go, because it's not 2022 anymore. I'm sorry Kyle O'Reilly beat Darby Allin at Double or Nothing in 2022.
Well, here's the thing, right? They was upset about that, and then all of a sudden flash forward, and all of a sudden he's tapping out John Moxley, and you're like, oh, this is one of the best matches of the year. Oh, I thought y'all used to hate him when he came in here, though. What changed? Oh, he won you over because he was good the whole fucking time? Oh.
I don't know what that is. My man Ethan Sabre Jr., a banana, 99 cents. That's all right. I don't understand the connotation, sir. But yeah, man, it's time. It's time, man. And
So do you think you either saying they were saying some race shit or some gay shit? Which one do you think it was?
I think some gay shit.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like, and at that point, like, more people from NXT as it goes forward, they're gonna get a chance to. And mind you, the people that are in NXT now, this is not like these are not the guys that were in NXT Black and Gold, because obviously those were like 10-year veterans that were like top indie wrestlers, throughout the world. It's a difference between, like, yeah, bro, we're gonna bring in Von Wagner now. Like, it's a whole different thing, bro. Like, I don't know. I'm just a lot more positive on the guy than I think a lot of people are.
Why do I feel like I've heard Von Wagner's name since Kyle O'Reilly left NXT?
I think he did a ROH dark match once or something. I'm not sure.
Okay,
but I think it's, I don't know. I just think about the Ciampa thing, and I'm like, look, it could be worse. It could be Gargano, who you really hate, coming in right now, and I don't know. I don't have that problem. I don't have these problems with these people,
right,
that a lot of, like, the AEW fans that I've engaged with or just seen in different, Discords and Twitter, and I'm just like, and let's not underestimate, like, the bad faith stuff, be like, oh, Ciampa is our guy or whatever, and then they try to throw logs in the fire and all that. But nah, it's a bunch of bullshit. Like, like, he's a perfectly fine wrestler. He's gonna have some good matches, and hopefully he doesn't have an aversion to being pinned or something. So
I couldn't imagine that he would, but we'll see. It remains to be seen.
Yeah. So let's move on from one guy in NXT to another. Let's talk about Andrade, man. Early returns on his latest return to AEW. I've seen a lot of people very excited online about Andrade, whether it's his gimmick right now, whether it's kind of his cool personality online and even on screen. Some say the body, the post Charlotte Flair of it all, for lack of better words. He's come in, and it seems like there's some motivation for him. Obviously, he was in New Japan as well. Came back to AEW, got a big win on Swerve this week. Set for a showdown with Kenny Omega next week. And what do you think about this guy?
The same thing I've always thought about him. He's fucking awesome. He's always been awesome, and he's still awesome. And he had a match last night that was like, oh yeah, still awesome. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? Like, this is similar to the conversation you had about Ciampa. Like, I see good wrestler, I like good wrestler. Like, my opinions on good wrestler don't change unless, like, good wrestler stop being good at wrestling, or does a racism or something stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, or has up a scandal. Like, nah, man. Still a good wrestler, had a good match, and, like, I can't wait to see him and Kenny have another match. Because, like, the match they had in Mexico, like, I left a lot to be desired given how talented both of them are. I think this match even they have in AEW finna smoke that match.
I think so too. Andrade is definitely loaded up on the chicken and rice, and came in, as the comments are saying, very natural fit for the promotion. And mind you, this guy left AEW the first time on good terms.
Yes. Especially after you talk about the hit or miss nature of NXTers going to AEW, and it's like at the end of it, all got fucked up because he was supposed to do a program with House of Black, and at the end of it, Malachi got jobberitis, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and it was meant for him to be the heel in that feud versus Andrade. Andrade was the babyface, and he was working, and then he got the rug pulled underneath him, and he ended up going to WWE, and now he's back. Like, that's hit or miss. Andrade in AEW was always really good. Malachi was like this, and then he left and went back to WWE.
Yeah, and perhaps, look, I don't know why he left, but one can assume that he was there, maybe trying to save his relationship, and once you don't got one of those anymore, so I think this guy has walked in kind of with the benefit of not being around AEW for a little bit, that quick return against Kenny Omega, and then he disappears, and he gets the best thing I think a wrestler can kind of ask for. He gets to stay in the news while not taking bumps, and basically raise his profile because of all the stuff with the legal stuff. And they say WWE's putting a year-long non-compete, and then he's building all this sympathy. They're like, hey man, this is fucked up. And then like, when you see him tweet, sometimes like the tweets are in broken English, but you can kind of see like what he's like getting at, and it's like, nah, bro, this guy always been cool. Everybody's always liked him, and when he's free, he's gonna hit the ground running because like there's a landscape for him to jump between Mexico, Japan, and AEW right now that he's already started, and that I imagine whenever he goes back to Mexico and they do him in Mexico at some point this year, it's gonna fucking sell Arena Mexico to the fucking ceiling. So like,
I mean, at this point, it don't even matter who it is.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You put Mexico in there with me or you, and he would sell out. But I get your point.
Right. Shit. Let me know, Mexico. I'll take a few pesos. Go in there and I'll fake unmask you and all that. So, but yeah, I just think he got the thing where he jumped Kenny. He basically gets all this extra attention, like in sympathy from the whole deal with the Fed. Jumps to New Japan. He's part of Wrestle Kingdom, and he's programmed with Gabe Kidd over there. So it's like he's gonna start racking up,
Acclaim.
A bunch of stuff. Yeah, Acclaim. And then he rolls into the match with Swerve last night, and then like before they do the finish or whatever to give him the heel victory and all that. But that was a fucking hell of a match, like leading up to that, and it was like, oh, he's moving, and he's got like that bounce. He's got that look in his eye. I always look for the look in the eye. He believes in what he's doing right now. The girls at ringside. He's got a little gimmick there that he's running and shit like that. People are into this guy, and I'm like, could he ever win the world championship in AEW? Like, would they hold him back from being the world champion? I would be very interested to see if that's ever in his cards.
I hadn't thought about it, but I mean, if it goes off the way it's supposed to, or the way it could, we'll see where this Lothario gimmick takes him. But I mean, like, it always works for me, seemingly. Like when they were doing with NXT with Angel Garza, it was working for me too, and like it's working right now too in AEW. So, like,
I think they would have to
good matches coming. And he, obviously he's gonna be pulled into the intrigue or the whatever, like the new dynamic is gonna be of Don Callis family posts whatever happens with Takeshita and Fletcher and Okada, and whatever happens, like he'll be right there.
Yeah, I think they would have a lot to prove in regards to probably having a non-native English speaker being the world champion. And AEW's yet to prove that. So
that's true.
They need to look at that with Bandito, with Andrade. Like, you got like
Okada, Takeshita.
They have a lot of guys like around, and it's like, all right, man, we saw you break one door down. Let's start breaking the other ones down too. So like, because I think the fans are going crazy for Andrade right now in a way that I don't think has ever happened in his career. In NXT, they never, even in NXT, they never quite took to him. I think he was more over with like us than he was to like, because it was all about Gargano. I think he was super over heel. I think he was all about Gargano at that time. It was all about Ciampa. That was like overshadowing him and main eventing over him. And then Aleister Black and stuff like that. But like he was the guy that was like, I remember when him and Gargano had the match, to bring it back to Johnny Gargano, it was like, yeah, bro, like this guy's sensational or whatever. And he's going to be a big star. And then he showed up on SmackDown and had a match with Ray, and that first match was fucking incredible. Yeah. And then they tried it. They tried the stuff where it's like, we'll have him have these matches with AJ, we'll have him have these matches with Bryan or with Daniel Bryan, but like it was like, we know he's a good match guy, but we don't know what we're going to do with him as a character. And when you don't know what you're going to do with him as a character in WWE, they're immediately going to be like, "Oh, you're just a wrestler. We can't turn you into a fucking goofy character to figure out what to turn to soap opera. We don't know what to do with you." And he had to play the background for so long. Yup. My man Black Saber Jr. appreciate the $20 spot. Appreciate you. He said,
"Appreciate
you." About to get ready for work tomorrow, but just wanted to say great show as always. God bless and fuck ice. Ooh, I got something for you on that end. But yeah, man, like I just think when it comes to Andrade, he's got so many fresh opponents still. Like him and Swerve was a first time match, and then like you see all the people that are circling around. Like Kenny Omega's a relatively new match, even though they've done that in AAA.
But that was like 4 years ago.
Imagine what his entrance is going to look like at Mexico Grand Slam. Like we're gonna have to get Daniel back on the show and tell us about what it feels like when Andrade walks out there. But yeah, I think he's got something going, and he's really one of the bright spots. Like I think there's a lot in AEW that feels like they're moving parts right now, but he feels like something that is figured out right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you think he's going to win next week? I do, for some reason.
I mean, the way they teased the very end of the show where like Hangman's there, and it looks like Hangman might do the Austin thing where like I'll do anything to get this title back. You have Kenny Omega and them teasing a Hangman and Omega match, and then like you had Andrade right there is like. I like what they've done. I really like what they've done to set this thing up to where it's like this.
It could go like any direction.
Yeah, and everybody's talented enough to where like it makes sense if any of them won. And you can get to some of these matches later, given how actually engaging some of these dynamics are.
Yeah, man, it's pretty interesting, like to see going forward, like how it's gonna all shake out for him. But I just hope in the long run, like we're talking about a future champion. So as far as Dynamite last night, a lot of good matches on this show.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega gives an all-time GIF and a squash over Rocky Romero. Oh my god. I don't know what Rocky Romero was thinking, bro. Nigga turned around, got on his knees, he started doing all this, and then all of a sudden it was in the back of the head with the V trigger.
Yeah. And, you can't screen share that? Don't worry about it. Worry about it getting taken down.
Yeah.
If you saw it, you know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Question from Mr. Boo. He said, did they keep him with Don Callis for the long term? Feels like Andrade doesn't need that relationship to be compelling. It's not a bad fallback plan. It's just like there's so much in the Don Callis family about to implode. They're going to need someone to elevate, I think, and it could be him.
Yeah, in the aftermath of it, and then like you need the wrestlers that people are going to really care about on the big shows to pull it all off, and he's definitely one of those guys who can benefit from. Like, we talked about this, like, it's still an American pro wrestling promotion, so you're going to need the intrigue of what stories can he tell to get to the match. And Don Callis thinks easy plug and play for him. Like everyone, you like if you don't know how to feel about Andrade and him coming back or whatever else, you know how to feel about Don Callis. So that's why it works.
What else do we have? Kenny Omega, Rocky Romero. They go into basically this promo with Swerve and Hangman come out there, and Swerve basically makes these eyes at Kenny Omega, and I think that's the match that they want us to think is happening, but Swerve ends up losing the main event, so it's like, we're gonna yank that back. So I don't know. I didn't know what was up with Don Callis. Someone said his teeth fell out mid promo. I thought he was dipping.
Like he was chewing something. I didn't know what it was. I didn't go back and look, but I was like, something's going on.
I thought he was dipping, but
I mean, if he has dentures and his dentures came out, sorry, brother.
Shit happens, So,
by the way, Ant Edwards just left out this OKC game with looks like a back tweak. They're up like 17 on them going into the fourth quarter.
So after that, Ace Austin and Jon Moxley. So this went about 10 minutes. This was a Continental Classic Eliminator or Continental Championship Eliminator match. This was just okay. I was looking for more out of Ace Austin here.
Yeah. I don't know if there's a future story with this or whatever else, but like it gave off unserious ass wrestler who wants to do a bunch of flippy shit versus a guy that's going to like out. If you want to do all the diving shit, I'll move out the way. If you want to do whatever else, I'll just put on a simpler, more effective, more efficient like move or a hold, and I'll just get the win. Yeah, it. I don't know if this was the intent, but when I'm watching, I'm like, this is an unserious ass nigga. Like he has these gigantic hamstrings,
quads,
and quads or whatever else, and short femurs, whatever else. But like, yeah, and good physique or whatever. But like all that flipping shit, and Moxie's just like, man, get him out of here. Like he just quickly diminishes her, and like even the chops, like you could tell that like he's chopping Moxie harder than Moxie's chopping him, but like Moxie still knows some of the chops. I was like, okay, well.
Part of me thinks
I almost like in one sense I'm like, is he eating him up, or am I just like in my mind just being like, this dude is just not in the right place for this match right now. I don't know how to take it. I might have to watch it again and be like, was Moxie trying to big league this dude, or is this dude just have no concept of what he should be trying to do, even if that is his character, like how to blend that into you're in the ring with Jon Moxley.
I feel like the opponents might have been backwards. Like they should have gave Rocky Romero to Jon Moxley and they have Ace Austin in there with Kenny, but don't squash him like that.
Yeah, but like Kenny Omega has to wrestle someone from Don Callis' family. It's in his contract. So
yeah,
that might be
about that.
But yeah, a Moxley Rocky match would be good. And like, and to be fair, like the Omega match was like it was an enhancement match. It wasn't a squash, but it was something approaching that.
Yeah,
his character is Gambit. From the X-Men. I
don't know what none of that is.
Gambit. I'm not gonna get into it, but Gambit's not a clown like that.
I think for Ace Austin, this is a step up moment right here. The first time you get on Dynamite, you gotta try to score 50. I know they gave you 10 minutes, but that's 10 minutes.
Yeah,
well, you gotta try to score 50. So who knows? The next time we'll see him on Dynamite, but hopefully he gets another chance. But I don't know who.
Like I think, and also quite frankly, on Collision he's had better showings.
Yeah.
So that's another part about it is like you get the singles match versus the ace of the company, and this is what you do. You were doing better work with like the Guns. How dare you? How dare you?
I'll tell you somebody that did impress me. El Clone. El Clone for Mark Briscoe for TNT belt. And they had a hell of a match here. And I'm like, yo, I like El Clone way more than Hologram.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you really ready to go there after one match?
I feel like
Hologram. Hologram. All the matches on Collision, Hologram that gave you this. How you want to do him? You just starting him for his op on one match?
I mean, El Clone. He's got the body. He got a little bit of power offense to him. He can obviously get up. I don't know. It felt like El Clone greater than sign Hologram. I'm open to have my mind, change back the other way. But
Look,
right now,
he may actually be better. I don't know. All I know is I've seen enough of Hologram to be like, you can't just be making these proclamations unless I think it's a bit premature. Can we wait till they both back yet first?
Hologram better not wait too long.
Wow,
he better not wait too long. This is gonna be a clone country.
Clone country. Wow. This man said, I like the evil version immediately. Damn.
Gucci Man.
Sonic's cool, but I like Shadow more. Damn.
Gucci Man clone, baby. What else we got? After that, as I mentioned, we got the Tommaso Ciampa debut, and Ciampa basically challenges Mark Briscoe.
Were you surprised by that pop?
Yes.
I was too.
Yeah, it was big, and it was like, and I really think so, because it was kind of a genuine surprise. We got the news drop of Ciampa was being interested in trying to get into New Japan and stuff like that, and there was like no talk kind of around this guy. It was like he put up his booking link, he dropped his merch, and then he was like, I'm gonna go ahead and then hit the indies. And then what indies? I'm hitting All Elite Wrestling. Like, Tony Khan was immediately on the line. Like, so you gonna stop bullshitting, or what's going on?
So I saw that he had posted merch on Pro Wrestling Tees, and I was like, okay, but like I hadn't thought about the connection to him and AEW at all. And then like I saw a Psycho on I saw the Heart, and I'm like, what's Heart? And then I saw the Psycho. I was like, oh, Blackheart, Psycho Killer. I was like, okay. And then they said, and then Psycho Killer popped out, and then crowd lost. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, it is Texas, which is kind of, it's AEW in Texas. They're always going to have a super live crowd.
Yeah.
But I was surprised. I was like, wow.
$2
I had to
super
feel
chat
good for him, because, he's probably looking online and think that, people think I fucking suck now.
$2 super chat from King of the North. Appreciate you. He said, did I miss the Evil pack? We kind of talked about Evil last week, but we probably can throw on a little bit of Evil talk at the end of this, now that it has been officially announced he is out of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. I don't have much on that, but we can do it. Where do you want to go from here now?
So after that, Statlander and Tekla.
Good match.
The apology. Kyle Fletcher, Okada apologizes to Kyle Fletcher. Take us through there.
Yeah, man, that was a really good. Like, this is like the most they ever let Okada talk in English on the show, and like he was like, "Yeah, man, like it's so funny because he's so full of shit." Because he's like, "Yeah, man, like I took the screwdriver from out of the ring pad for my match, but." I didn't think about what it was going to mean for you versus Jon Moxley, and I thought that I needed to win my match to make sure that like the Continental title was going to stay in the hands of the Don Callis family by me and you both advancing to the final. But I want you to let you know that I'm very sorry. And the funny thing about it is like Okada multiple times, or whether it was the when he was producing the show and he cut off people's music and he called him a bitch, he said I'm sorry, or like when he like cheats in front of the ref and he'll do like I'm so sorry. Like every time he does I'm so sorry, it pops me. So I'll start laughing at that, and then like Fletcher was like, you know what, I accept your apology. And then I guess we got to go back to later on in the show when they get to him and Takeshi together, because that's what made it even better.
Yeah, they had we got a joint with a promo with MJF and Brody King. Now I thought this went off the rails for a second, but luckily like it didn't. The train didn't come off the track.
The joke.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see it too different from like the Triple H and CM Punk thing.
Oh well, I was saying he was calling that man a liberal in Texas, and I was you trying to get a babyface booed out here, but I was alerted that Austin, Texas may have like slightly different demographics, and it's Austin? Like yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean Austin's super liberal.
So like it ain't like he was in Dallas saying this. It was like woo.
Right.
So they set up basically an eliminator match for next week. Brody King does good on the mic here, where he's basically like, I talked to Tony Khan. He agreed. Best person to test myself against is you. And what's up? So they're going to do it next week, and presumably that's an Australia match. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on here. So, but you know,
if it were me, I'd squash him.
Oh, next week?
I squash him just to set up the match. Like similar to like what they did with Moxley and CM Punk, where it's like that squash match made it was like holy shit. Like when are you ever get an opportunity like that to like get somebody over in that way? And like obviously he's not gonna become an AEW World Champion, but like that sets up the second match very easily. Because if you're a person that does not buy for a second that Brody King can be the champion, even though you look at these promos and you see him towering over MJF, and MJF is also scared of him, it's like, that's how you do it. You don't have him have a back and forth competitive match and then the big guy wins at the end after 15 minutes.
Yeah, I heard about this.
The squash means to definitively beat the shit out of him and then set up the part where like MJF is going to have to figure out a way to survive this, and it feels like, the babyface is actually going to beat this guy. And then MJF just wins at the end, but like that's more intriguing than back and forth match and whatever.
Yeah, I think with this thing next week, it's very important that they play it straight, as far as like they don't try to oversell it too hard. Like if Brody King wins, they're like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" Like I think they need to like kind of keep it like realistic. Like, oh shit, you have a fucking problem, Max. Yeah. Like, and basically like kind of do it like that. But Big Young Bucks video package, basically showing them saying we done with being EVPs. We were horrible people. We turned babyface. We got the tassels back on, and it's like, we ready to ride, essentially. Yeah,
we're back to showing titty.
I appreciate it.
To the delight of many on Tonal Talk.
Correct. Shout out to Tonal Talk.
Specifically the titty master, Leah.
But, hopefully the Bucks, get back involved. Women's title match, Chris Statlander versus Tekla. Another good match here. Yeah. I don't have to ever worry about Chris Statlander in the ring.
Right.
But this was a Tekla crowd.
Yeah. Statlander came out, and that was it wasn't a Baron Corbin no pop, but it was a polite pop. And I was like, oh, wow. And the Tekla came out, and she got a bigger pop, and the match is going, and they loved them some Tekla. They loved them some Tekla.
Buying all her near falls.
Yeah. Match was really good.
Also, another victory lap on the Tekla is going to be awesome in this company thing. With,
Yeah. And
people didn't want her here either.
And it's surprising because, like, I don't think they've done much of anything with her, like, the last few months. Right, and like for her to get that kind of pop, it was like, well, I think that's the lasting effects of Blood and Guts for the Women's Blood and Guts match, because that's the last time she really did anything.
She had a match with Jamie Hayter, I think, at was it Full Gear, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah. That was she won that match. It was going to be like, oh, she's been clearly set up to be the next title challenger, and then now we're 2 months past that, and then she finally got it.
Yeah,
on TV.
Yeah, I think she did a really good job. I think this was a good match, and we got basically the walkout after with Bane and Penelope. Now
walkout indeed. My God,
brother.
we were just talking about Leah in the Young Bucks. When she sees that, oh my God.
Megan Bane came out there. Look, I'll let the soundboard speak for me. I don't know if they were coming out there as a duo for the tag belts or if they were coming out there as Bane staring down Statlander. But if it's Bane and Statlander, let's go ahead and swap this belt out, real quick and get it on the Megasis, and let's stop fucking playing games out here.
Man, like that's an awesome match. That's gonna be an awesome match.
Yeah.
Yep. And because like Willow and Statlander and Jamie have like put her over as like, nah, amongst all the big women in the company, she is the baddest. Like they have put her over in that way in matches, and like she, you know, like we may be big strong women, but like she's the biggest and the strongest. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting to see like how they play that match, because like they could actually do like almost like a version of what Raquel and Rhea were doing in NXT, where it's like this girl's bigger and stronger, but like I have an advantage in certain ways, and I can display that to get the win, possibly, or to stay alive in the match. Like it's gonna be interesting how they tell that story, because this is house fighting. This is a house fight. I love it. This is what I'm here for. This is this is this is a Micah match. This is Micah versus Emeka, possibly. I love it.
Possibly.
Minus the part where they're tag team partners, they love each other. But I mean, like, nah, this is the thing of like big strong woman versus big strong woman. Let's see who prevails. That's gonna be fun.
What else do we have from there? FTR and Doyle and Davis. This one didn't really get off to the level that I wanted it to go. Unfortunate injury for Doyle. Tears his bicep. That fucking stinks. And that nigga Mark Davis.
Yeah.
Best of luck to you, brother.
It's just bad luck, man. He seemed like he had himself a partner to have these, you know, Aussie Open type matches where like they big strong bullies, and instead of him getting hurt, now as his tag partner, and I don't think he's gonna get the Fletcher push. I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think FTR needs another hot match ASAP. I don't think this one went the way they may have wanted.
Yeah, the injury. I thought they were going really well when the chops started ringing out back and forth when they were in Risk Control. Him and Davis and Dax were trading chops from Risk Control back and forth. I thought the match was starting to percolate, and then the injury happened. So.
Yeah, had the injury. They had to kind of redo whatever they had planned.
Yep.
And, you know, we spent weeks, like, setting all this stuff up for the finish to be all this stuff to basically get Davis and Doyle out of there, and with the Death Riders and all that. Mm-hmm. FTR just kind of comes off like they scoot out the back door.
Yep.
With these things. And at this point, I'm like, are they just going to go to FTR and the Bucks now since they're in LA?
We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, very unfortunate on injury for Doyle. So he just came in, and people were taking to him.
Because given what just happened, like they were clearly headed towards some Don Callis family versus Death Riders feud or whatever else, and this is a continuation of it, or just one of the sparks for it. And now they're gonna have to reshuffle whatever they had planned because one guy is on the shelf for months.
So from there, we had Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy backstage with Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. Orange Cassidy just started complaining like hell about Wheeler Yuta, and this was just like Orange Cassidy's fucking tired of this nigga, like, and he just starts listing out thing after thing after thing, and it was like Wheeler ends up popping up, and he's like, "Hey man, what's your real problem?" And then Marina Shafir shows up, and then starts cussing out Orange Cassidy, and then Tony Storm shows up, and it's like unhand him, and then she was like, what did she call Orange Cassidy? It was like Orange Boy or some shit like that. Citrus Boy.
Citrus Boy. That's right.
The Storm and the Tony Storm and Marina Shafir like on camera beef / chemistry, their promos, their matches is fucking hilarious. Like, and it's like, it's funny. Look.
It's a cartoon character with a deadly killer. Like, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's something. Let's just say that. And, yeah. Hopefully they do a match again, and then it's a death match, and they actually get a winner this time. So,
yeah.
Let's see.
But, like, I know, like, Meltzer was talking about, like, he felt like Tony Storm's been cooled off, but, like, nah, man. Once they get that big singles match between her and Marina, she ain't gonna feel cool again.
Hopefully not. Hopefully she's still good to go. That might have just been a little alarmist, but we'll see. Main event after that, we kind of alluded to it. Andrade and Swerve. I thought they got busy, especially to start the match. It was like, woo! It was like a whole bunch of, reversing and jumping in and out of moves and fast-paced stuff. And I was just like, ROPW, run it up. I love it.
Yeah, love the match, as I said earlier. And, surprised by the finish, but it is interesting. Like, there's so many talented people involved in all this, and it's really cool that like they've made this determination. Like, we are going to layer our story, our singles card through like everybody chasing after this world title, and the fallout from all these things will be like failures from that, and people trying to rebound off of that. Like, that's how this should always go. Like, this is when I say bring back the rankings all the time, like, this is the kind of stuff I mean. Like, this is you showing your work that, like, when somebody loses in this from at the first, like someone like Swerve, like, how's he going to get back to the top of the card? And if he doesn't get back to the top of the world title, like, where is he going to end up? And it's because he lost his match on Andrade, and now he's going to work his way through some of these other guys that are in the way now.
Why does it feel like they've run like a silent, loose tournament?
Yep.
Like, just without calling it that.
Well, because they just got done with the C2, so they don't want to actually call it a tournament, because then they end up in trouble when people complain about tournaments.
Yeah.
But this is how all sports work anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
People face each other to become a number one contender and then face the champion.
I was shocked on the like Swerve likes to do that move where he does like either like a power bomb on the what the fuck is that
barricade?
Thing called? The barricade, yes. Slipped my mind for a second, but he ended up taking the back body drop on this shit. I was like, God damn, bro.
I like the touch of he takes the back body drop on his back, and then Andrade, because it's a thin barricade, like ends up like getting crotched. So they both sell the double count out.
Yeah, that was close too. And I swear, when I thought about that, I thought about Shawn Michaels in the fucking casket. Like, I was like, God damn. I was like, be careful, bro. Like, but I mean, he got it.
Back then, yeah, but now, like, when you have people like Moxley and Adam Cole, like, taking bumps on the spine of chairs with their actual spine, and I'm like, now I'm almost immune to it outside of, like, it's sick looking.
Yeah.
But, like, I think people are going to get up.
Yeah. Super spot where they do Andrade is like tries the running double knee strike, but he gets caught with the running house call. Like, yep. I love the catch and finisher house call.
Yep, house calls out of nowhere is working.
What else we have? We ended up getting Aubrey distracted. Andrade kicks Swerve in the dick.
Yeah, he seemed like he's dead to rights, and then all of a sudden he's about to go and he grabs Aubrey, and while he grabs Aubrey, she's too close to see that he's about to, like, he kicks backwards into Swerve's crotch, and then he proceeds to hit his hammerlock DDT for the win.
Yep. And from there, Andrade starts celebrating, and kind of heads out, but you see MJF in the back. Kenny Omega interrupted, and he was in a tracksuit, and he was like, he want to tell MJF, like, hey, one more week, one more win, I'll see you at Revolution. He wanted to shake MJF's hand, but MJF, being a fuck nigga, didn't want to shake the GOAT's hand, ran away. Then all of a sudden he runs into Andrade, and then Andrade was like, hey man, you've been ducking me all night, but I noticed you come around, there's cameras here. I would handle you if it wasn't for these cameras. You ain't about to, ruin my opportunity, so I'm gonna let you slide this time. Then he heads out the door, and all of a sudden Hangman's back there. Who knows what Hangman's just doing, hanging out outside or whatever. And it basically tells him, he stops him at the car and was basically like, yo, letting him know, I'm coming for you. And everyone's on MJF's ass,
as it should be.
Look, beatable champion. So find it interesting. Like the thing that ended Hangman's reign was like there are no opponents or whatever. But when you flip MJF as the champion, now it's like
all the opponents.
Bro, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I don't know, man. Interesting. Very good show though.
Yeah.
So, we got the announcement of Evil Watanabe leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, Evil was in LIJ for many years and then ended up winning the IWGP Championship off a heel turn on Naito. Square in the middle of the pandemic. The IWGP belt has a mythical status at this point. Just 5 years of just, even more than that, like a fucking full decade of just like excellence between, Tanahashi's run before he drops it to Okada, and then Okada, is winning it and is going on all the different champions. Naito, Kenny Omega, I think Jay White had it at one point.
Think of the hill, like Evil won it, right? Think of the hills that didn't win it. Minoru Suzuki never won it. And he was fucking awesome the times he had them title matches. With Tanahashi.
Yeah.
Right? But you get to the pandemic, you're like, nah, I'm going to go with Evil. Why? Because we need to go out here and sell a baseball stadium with Naito, even though it's like, well, it's Naito. You can put him in a baseball stadium with any fucking body. It doesn't matter if it's fucking evil. Whatever, they do it. They change the title and then they flip it back to Naito, and then they get the fireworks when they're doing the fucking tranquilo pose. It's like, oh great, that was worth our time.
And in that, they instantly end the golden era of New Japan Pro Wrestling, and the whole, like, just everything in the main event level, when Evil touches it, it just goes in a fucking shitter. And it just never truly recovers after that. Like, guys win the belt back. Of course, we saw Ospreay be the champ. We saw Shingo be the champ. Okada had it afterwards, but Ibushi. But, bro, Evil broke that shit, bro. Once it was like Evil won that shit, it was like anybody can win this fucking thing. And then, like, you talk about the House of Torture just being categorically ass, just repellent from Western wrestling fans. People can talk all they want about how popular Evil is in Japan and the stuff he does in the dojo and he's willing to lose and stuff like that. What choice does he have?
Right.
Like, you're talking about a guy that on his best days in a regular G1, we're talking about a guy who would rank anywhere from 15th to 20th in a G1 thing. It's like, this wasn't never no top star, like, for like no real top star, because they never really trusted him to main event, like, right, past that that tiny like section of a summer.
Right. And also, like, we know what these promotions like schedules are. It's like, when it's time for Dominion, when it's time for Wrestle Kingdom, when it's time for Sakura Genesis, is he in the main event? No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I never enjoyed Evil's wrestling. I hated all the interference in his matches. I thought he stunk. I thought he was emblematic of an issue, of a large disconnect from what people that were really enjoying New Japan Pro Wrestling in the 2010s liked, and then whatever the fuck it turned into throughout a lot of this last half decade. And quite frankly, when I saw the black and white logo, I was like, black and white logo for Evil leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling, what is that for? This is good news. Like, you saved that for bad news. But man, this guy fucking stunk, and he sucked shit, and there are gonna be people that want to defend this. You're wrong. Sorry. He made wrestling worse. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, I don't really have much to add. Like, he's a dude that, like, I liked more than Rich did, and even then, like, I was like, I've had enough of him, and this is awful, and I hate watching his matches. And Rich, what's the last G1 you watched? Like the whole tournament.
The whole tournament?
Was it 19?
Maybe like 2021 possibly, where I watched like multiple days and shit like that.
So I've watched 2 G1s post pandemic or whatever else, and the ones he was in, like the same shit. It's like he was at the bottom. Like you look at the average star ratings at the bottom of the shit. Man, like there was some juice from crowds for the stuff versus Sonata or versus Naito, or he's wrestling a big star, but it's like ultimately it's like, this guy's gonna have the worst matchup for every wrestler's worst match in the block. Like it was equivalent of like, oh, you got Toriano. It's like, and then people talk about, when they had the blocks, like, well, you put Toriano in there so a guy can have an easy night off. It's like, okay, cool, but the problem is, if there's only one Toriano, that means the other block has to actually go hard, all of them, and they always have the better blocks. So what do you want to do? You want to have shitty matches where one guy can have it easy and only throw half of the guys, and the other guys got to bust their ass the whole time and kill themselves? Mm-hmm. And then when Evil was like, that's not even the same thing. It's like, no, you get the bad match and you got to bump your ass off for that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, I don't know, man. And then, that's before they moved over. That's before they moved over to 4 blocks. Once they moved to 4 blocks, it's like, I don't even want to hear that Yano shit or whatever, or Evil shit. It's like, that's one block out of 4. So,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not trying to hear that when we got like so many people in the promotion that could have been the champion, so many people's careers that got under by having to associate with the House of Torture. What happened to Show? What happened to fucking Ren Narita?
Like, you go back and watch those 2019 Best Super Junior match for Shingo in particular. And you're like, this guy's gonna be fucking incredible. And then now flash forward, fuck that shit fucked up Show, that shit fucked up Yo by extension, and like now we're waiting for Master Wato to win the junior title for like the 3rd straight year. And now Hiromu's leaving, and like it looks like people are pissed off at Desperado.
And Doki goes right in House of Torture. There's like, I just see House of Torture, and I'm just like, it's like if I wasn't streaming, it'd be like change the channel. Like,
yeah. Somebody made a good point. Other than the Aaron Wolf match, I never felt like Evil elevated his opponents or himself in his match. It's like, yeah, but it's one of those matches where it's basically effectively a celebrity match. And don't get me wrong, I give him credit for that one, but like that's like the first match I've liked from Evil in years.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember Tomohiro Ishii would like randomly crack the code like once a year on Evil, and it would be like people would just be jumping for joy, and I'm like, it's Ishii, bro.
Right. It's the greatest non-event. It's the greatest non-main event wrestler ever.
So, this is no real loss for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He will be replaced, and eventually he'll probably come back, and he's going to WWE. Awkward fit.
I don't even understand it. Like I made a joke to you off air, like what I think this could possibly be, and like if it is, all right, whatever, you get the check, but
yeah,
I don't get it.
I just don't see. Apparently, does speak better English than maybe I know.
Cool. What is
the thing is, he's going to be 5'9". That's the thing.
Let's say he spoke perfect English. What is he going to do in the Wrestle Factory? In an American Wrestle Factory?
I think he will have probably one of the more stereotypical gimmicks. Like, he will lean hard into whatever will make him stick.
Like, what's he going to do when he wrestles Ethan Page? Because I've seen what he's done with guys that aren't Okada. Even during Okada, he can have a great match. Even during other people besides Okada, it becomes a problem.
I remember that one time Kenny Omega knocked him the fuck out with the V-trigger.
Oh, yeah. Was that 18?
Yeah.
Or 17?
I think it might have been 17 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Julia spoke English before getting there. Hasn't helped her much. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Julia's also a lot fucking better than Evil. And also is in the women's roster where they have a lot better talent in NXT than the men's roster side.
This is absolutely disgusting,
Oh,
Dex.
my God.
Evil versus Ricky Starks. Oh, my God.
Ricky Starks is Jimmy better than him. At least the Ricky Starks I saw in NXT. Or sorry, AEW. Now, Ricky Saints, I don't know.
Yeah, that's sick work right there. Look, would have like Cody asked to work with him, be like, yeah, man, I know Evil. I'm familiar with Evil. Like he could.
We've known each other for 7 years or some shit like that, or 8 years.
Yeah. Oh, this is disgusting. Severus Rogan. This is disgusting. Can we get more Evil Dream matches in the Fed listed?
Can we get
comments,
Royce
please?
Keys in the Never division and not Evil? Can we do that trade?
I saw someone point out that the trade silently was Powerhouse Hobbs for Tommaso Ciampa.
I mean, you can make that argument as a trade. But yeah, man, back to Evil though. Like,
yes, I'm the Western Wrestling fan.
It's not going. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I don't know what he's thinking was going to happen. Like, bro, think of what they got out of Kushida, and think of what they did with Kushida. It wasn't much. While he was still going to have kick-ass matches.
Like, he don't even come in with a reputation of wrestling good.
Right.
Look what they did with Nakamura. Like, it's just like
he's a superstar. He's like, he's one of the most charismatic wrestlers of all time. Like Kushida, technical magician, Marvel, all that kind of stuff. And what they finna do with him, I don't fucking know, bro.
Kenta,
yeah, Hideo Itami, killer. I don't know what they finna do with Evil, bro. What he gonna do? He gonna show up?
I think he's gonna do.
Is he 5'9" or is he 5'10"?
Bro, he's. There's no way he's 6 foot tall. There's no way.
Definitely. But like, he's gonna show up and he doesn't have a great body even by Japanese standards. Wrestles in a singlet. I don't know. I mean, he has good hair, but I don't know what.
Is he gonna join the Judgment Day? Is he gonna hang out with Damian Priest or something?
Can he be a player coach?
I mean, he does train at the dojo, so
can he tell people like, hey, bro, you a big dude, you ain't, you're not really, your feet don't really move that well or whatever. So he's gonna show you how to like kind of brawl or whatever else. Teach you how to like be a never open weight type of guy, or whatever else. There's some value in that, but like, be an actual like player on NXT, I don't think that's gonna work out. Maybe look, we've seen people make worse moves for love, whatever. At least he can get paid for it.
Jeff Cobb immediately went to the main roster and got slotted into MFT. Yeah, Jeff Cobb is light years in front of Evil. So
oh my God, it's not even. Yeah. Cobb way better than him. On Evil's best days, not as good as Jeff Cobb was.
Yeah, if I'm Evil, they don't get me if I got to go to that PC. But I mean.
Oh, is IWG World? So was Nakamura. Get your ass to the class.
Yeah.
You think you better than Nakamura?
No.
No, you don't know. One of the be smart ass. You think you better than Nakamura-san? You ain't like to put a little, a little twinge of racism on it,
Yes. I think that. Yes, I am the Western fan that quote unquote doesn't get it about Evil, and guess what? I don't want to get it. Like that nigga ain't giving me no incentive to get it.
I come for the hot matches. I stay for the good storylines afterwards. Like he had one good storyline, and the match made me say fuck that. I don't care. Like it's pro wrestling. Like the thing they're selling. The other stuff is selling you on a match to go to watch. If I don't want to watch you wrestle, then I don't care what story you're selling me. It's real simple. It's like action movie, right? If it's bad action sequences in this movie, I'm not going to watch the sequel because I know that you're going to give me bad action sequences. Like if John Wick sucked, if the gun boom boom, gunplay sucked, like I'm not going to care about the story that leads up to all that stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
Maybe I'm oversimplifying it or whatever else, but that's just how I see it. There's too much good wrestling around here to be stuck watching evil.
A lot of different sad matches. Just a sorry vomit-inducing cage match page. Just the lowest of the low.
I mean, we can talk about it now. Like, so people were some of the people that are, pure elitist. When they saw Ciampa show up, they were like, "Thank God he's not coming to New Japan. He's in AEW." And I had to go there, I was like, I wonder if there's even 10 people on the current New Japan Pro Wrestling roster with a better cage match guy than Tommaso Ciampa. And then I thought about it, I was like, I wonder if it's 8. I think by the time me and Rich and J-Mon talked about it, I think probably got around like the 7, around 7.
Something like that.
Around 7. And it's like, all right, man. You know who's not in that 7 or in that top 15? Evil. So what are we talking about?
Oh, man. Love to see it. Best of luck to him. We used to say we hope Evil hit the lottery. Well, now you got to go travel for the Fed. So I don't know.
Sometimes they win the lottery and it ain't about money. He won the lottery. He won a life. All this stuff is gravy. He won. Good for him.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. So thanks for listening, y'all. That's the end of the show. If you are watching from the stream, be sure to go to the show notes in the podcast when it's up to go to the Red Circle link and donate there. And be sure to listen to other shows on the network. Besides One Nation Radio, you have one... besides One Nation Radio, you have One Nation Radio. Besides One Nation Radio, you have Keepin It Strong Style, All Things Elite, Imps Adventures, Wrestling Out with Chris Things, Tunnel Talk, the Trish and Sarah Wrestling Podcast, AEW Match Guide, and Joshi'ing Around. Thanks for listening, y'all. Later.
Peace.